Okay, so when I was first talking to D about wanting to make these videos showing my insights and methodology, one of the things he asked me to do was to not just make the sorts of characters I usually do when I am preparing to solve the game. He asked me to make some concept characters. So this is one of them. You can see over here I have a conversation I had with Uncle Chris, and he asked me to build him a luchador barbarian, El Grapadura. This was for a one-on-one game. So it's a series of modules I purchased from the Paizo website where it's just one player and one GM. This is what we came up with. This is a slight update to El Grapadura. Yeah, I'm on the level 1 version. So he's a Unchained Barbarian. I think he was originally a standard barbarian. I don't think Unchained had happened yet. And he is an Invulnerable Rager because that's basically my favorite kind of barbarian. I like damage resistance. And I'm taking the +1 hit point instead of the +1 skill point, which is a little unusual for me, but makes sense for the Luchador Barbarian. Nothing super exciting here. His bonus goes into Constitution. He's a human. He worships Iori. And here we are. Iori was once a mortal man whose intense discipline allowed him to attain enlightenment and divinity through physical, mental, and spiritual perfection. So this is it seems like a good deity for a human man seeking enlightenment through luchadorism, luchadorian, the philosophy of the lucha. Right. Anyway, Iori. The ethnicity could be anything. I picked Haldane because when I clicked on this menu, that was under my mouse. Strength to 18 because hitting dudes is important. Bonus to my attack and damage. Dex to 13 because I want the +1 AC, and I want to be able to get. Oh, I want to get improved grapple, and then con to 15 because that'll get me more hit points and more raging. Int and Wiz are 9 and 8. They could be 8 and 9. I don't really care. El Grapadora in this specific incarnation is a finely honed physical fighting machine. He's not too bright. I kind of wanted to push his charisma up instead of the Constitution, just so that he would be like a super strong, grapply, like really nice seeming dude. But I couldn't get the point by to work out the way I wanted. This made more sense. I get fast movement, I get rage. Nothing super exciting here. Skills, acrobatics, because I'm a luchador. Intimidate, also because I'm a luchador. Bluff, seems like a decent place to put a skill point for a luchador. And escape artist, because I'm a luchador. I guess I could take that point out of bluff and do something with it. But I don't really know what I would do. I might put it into heal, because that'll be a practical choice for this character. As an itinerant luchador, I guess maybe survival would be a good choice. I don't really. This seems fine. It's no big deal. Feats. Now this is actually something that if I was going to play this character, I would go to my DM about, because I basically have to take improved arm strike. And if I was playing this character, I would go to my DM and say, look, instead of martial weapon proficiency and simple weapon proficiency, let me basically take monk weapons, so improved unarmed strike and um, yeah, monk weapons. I just, in terms of the flavor of the character, that would make a lot more sense, and it would save me a feat, and then I could use that on like power attack, which would be nice. But we're going strictly rules as written, so improved unarmed strike and improved grapple are my feats. I took bred for war. Actually, let me just show improved grapple real quick. I get a bonus to my combat maneuver defense when somebody's trying to grab me. I get a bonus to grappling people, and most importantly, I no longer provoke attacks of opportunity when grappling. So, for a luchador, that seems like an important feat. Okay, so I took bred for war, which is basically you're freaking huge, and I get a +1 on my intimidate checks and a +1 bonus to my CMB because I'm freaking huge. I must be at least 6 feet tall. Seems great. I love it. They should change that trait. Instead of being bred for war, it should just say luchador. I guess that means that I need to be Shoanti, but I'm not. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Quain, martial artist. I get +1 damage when I use unarmed strikes. Quain is like Spain, right? It's Spanish luchador. That makes sense. Is that how that works? All right. For my drawback, I took Vainglory. You compulsively seek recognition for your deeds. So this is not a subtle character. This is the sort of character who wants the spotlight. Basically, while building him, I was kind of thinking of Hercule from Dragon Ball Z, or Mr. Satan, if you prefer. Yeah, just like loud and flashy, and except like actually good at hitting dudes. So yeah, that's that. And then for my bonus trait, I took reactionary, which is not interesting, but it is useful. So that. Weapons. I can punch dudes. I get 1d3 +5. And I get a +5 to hit, so I can punch dudes, and I can double punch dudes. It's 2-weapon fighting, so I get +1 -1. It's not great. I don't like it. You're 1d3 +5, 1d3 +3. It's not great. My bonus is better than my die. That's going to be a staple of this, right? Like, making my bonus go up is going to be how I do damage. Making my die size go up is not really. It's not how this character is going to work. Although I should say it's 1d3 +5, and then if I go over here and I hit my rage weapons, it's 1d3 +7, and I'm up to a +3 +1 in the offhand. So that's pretty good. It's not great. It's pretty good. If I was fighting kobolds, I might do that. Anytime I'm fighting a boss, I'm just going to punch him in the face for 1d3 +7. Fatigued. Do you have a... Yeah, where's the fatigue? You know what? It's not important. We know what fatigue does. It sucks. That's what it does. Armor. I'm wearing an armored kilt because I'm a luchador. I didn't really feel right to be wearing heavy armor. I just kind of like the kilt. I know it's terrible. I'm basically a frontliner, but I'm wearing caster gear. But you want to play to a concept. Sacrifices have to be made. Assuming that he lasts past level 1, he'll have more options. I'm a luchador. I don't have any magic. I changed this on one, but not the other. It's either a monk's outfit or an entertainer's outfit. Whatever you want. It's just clothes. I don't think any of the rest of this is interesting. I get 2 temporary hit points when I rage. Weird conditions. Fatigued. Oh, you'll tell me. Neither run nor charge. -2 to all of your fighting things. So, yeah, that's it. That's the level 1 version of El Grapadura. As is my custom, I made a level 5 version. You'll notice that his hit points are all maxed out, and he's got +1 hit point at every level. I'm basically just making the assumption that if I rolled less than 12, I would spend the time to use the training rules to get my hit points up to 12. There's a rule for that. I don't know how much it costs. I'm not accounting for it in my wealth by level. I'm just assuming that reasonable heads can prevail and some sort of deal can be struck with my GM. I put my +1 into dexterity because that was the only thing that was an odd value. This stuff didn't change. So now my dexterity is 14. I have +2 to my armor class, which is delightful. I'm basically still, just like a caster. In fact, now... Oh, wait, no. Before I go into that, I have rage powers. So while I'm raging, if I unarmed strike people, I get 1d6 instead of 1d3. That's a pretty good upgrade. It only works when I'm raging, but still. And while I'm raging, I get 2 weapon fighting, which is pretty good. So it's going to mitigate some of those penalties. And I'm up to 14 rounds of rage per day, so I can rage a pretty significant amount. My damage resistance kicked in. It's damage reduction 2 against all weapons and natural attacks. So magic and energy damage gets through still, but for conventional attacks, DR2, which I enjoy. And then I get extreme resistance. I can pick cold or heat. I picked cold because I did. Whatever. That's not really according to the character. You can pick whatever. I didn't do anything unexpected here. My escape artist is half decent. My acrobatics is really good. So I guess I can do crazy stunts and jump off the ropes or whatever. And I got pretty good intimidate. Like, I can talk some smack. It's pretty good. So here's where if I have to take improved unarmed strike, things get like wonky, right? Because if I have to take improved unarmed strike, then what I do is I take improved unarmed strike, improved grapple, power attack, and stunning and eruption. Now, this does, of course, require your GM to be okay with you using it, because it's not, I mean, it's Champions of Corruption, right? It's kind of not party friendly. If you succeed, the violence of your rival is so great that all characters within 20 feet of your entry point must succeed at a saving. So, that phrase, all characters. Jeff and I have talked about that before. That's kind of problematic. If you take all characters to mean literally everybody, all non-player characters and all player characters, that can be not great. It could be interpreted to mean all player characters and not non-player characters, and that's super unhelpful. And if your GM is fairly lenient, it can be made basically to mean all characters who are not your allies. This character was originally conceived of for a one-off. Also, just having a luchador frickin' Kool-Aid Man into a room and catch everyone off guard is kind of awesome. So, I take it. But the other thing I might take is I might take Cleave. There's something else I had my eye on that now I can't remember. I can't take two weapon fighting because it it requires me to have more dexterity than I have, right? I could take it later. I need 15 dexterity, I think. There's a grapple feat. I think it's deadly grapple, where while you're grappling, if you attack the person you're grappling, the die size of your weapon goes up by one. So I could get up to a 1d8, which is fine. I could also just take weapon focused fists, unarmed strike, however, whatever. There are options, but this is what I go with if I need to take improved unarmed strike. If I don't, I can basically take. I would probably actually take cleave just for the mook mop up. So yeah, that's that. Here we go. Weapons. This hasn't changed a super lot. It's still 1d3. Now it's +6 instead of +5. I think it was before. But now I'm on a +10 to hit. So if I want to double up, I'm +6 +4. And if I rage, I jump up to +10 +12. Does that make sense? Oh, that's the non-lethal. Yeah, +10 +12. All right, whatever. That's fine. I feel like there's something weird going on there, and then I can power attack it. And then we're up to +8 +10. Yeah, pretty good. And hit for 1d6 +12 and 1d6 +8. So yeah, it's not bad. In both of those cases, my bonus damage is higher than my die side. Oh, and then if I do 1d3 +6, I can do power attack and rage. Get up to d6 +12. Pretty solid. So yeah, that's fine. It is what it is. I am wearing literally no armor now. This is the thing I wanted to talk about earlier. So I'm dressed like a caster, right? I'm wearing literally no armor, and I have bracers of armor on. Because bracers are consistent with the luchador look, and heavy armor is not. So bracers of armor. That is what it is. I basically had a choice between Amulet of Mighty Fists +1 or a Belt of Giant Strength +2. They both give me +1 to hit and damage, but Amulet of Mighty Fists makes my fist count as magic weapons, and the belt doesn't. So I went with the Amulet. Basically, the next thing I really want is the Belt of Giant Strength, though. And I took the Ring of Sustenance because that was literally all the money I had left, and it's a good item. If you're an itinerant wrestler, being able to sleep for 2 hours per night is super great. I don't have any other notable gear. I'm wearing a monk's outfit. I don't think any of the rest of this is interesting. Oh yeah, DR gets doubled against non-lethal damage. So DR2 for lethal, DR4 for non-lethal. 14 rounds of rage per day. I think I mentioned that. Super great. Stunning Eruption DC is 10. And it feeds off my base attack bonus. It's going to go up by 1 every level. Super great. I get 10 extra hit points when I rage now, which is nice. I think that's basically it. So, it's not the best grappler. It's not the best unarmed fighter. But it is, as requested, a luchador barbarian. If I was going to build this character, more seriously to my standard spec, I probably would look at monk I think there's a fighter archetype that gets unarmed fighting built in. Oh, or you know what would be fun now? We could probably build a decent luchador out of a war priest, right? That could be good fun. The character, as is, especially, requires just a lot of magic item support, right? Like, regardless of which one of those builds I go with, I'm going to need my Amulet of Mighty Fists. And, like, I'm going to need it a pretty solid amount in order to keep up with other party members. I'm going to need Braces of Armor. Even assuming I max out my hit points every level, even with my DR, I'm not invincible. And I'm going to take a lot of hit. My AC is 14. I'm level 5. My AC is garbage. I might as well not be wearing armor. I considered looking at the Cloak of Displacement, but it doesn't really fit the character very well. Because the Cloak of Displacement makes you, like, blurry and hard to see, right? And this is a real, like, ostentatious, standout kind of guy. So it doesn't fit the idiom, is what I'm saying. So yeah, there's just gonna need to be some leniency on your GM's part for this to work. Or you need to not be in a party with one of my standard characters, so the DM can just kind of tone things down to be party appropriate. Um. Oh, one other thing here. We got down here. Can I take the feat that lets me have a hireling and he can be the announcer for all my fights? This is actually, I think this is a great idea. I think at level 7, El Grapadura should take leadership, right? And the cohort should be a bard. And I can't remember now. It was either Mike Tyson or George Foreman did this thing where, like, especially right before a fight, they would hire this guy to follow them around and just constantly be like, "You're the best. You're the champ. You can take this guy. It's no problem. You can do anything." And just, like, feed him this constant stream of hype. And I love the idea that El Grapadura has a guy following him around doing that. And, like, so you get into combat, and the bard uses his inspiring abilities to, make El Grapadura a more effective fighter. And he's, like, combination announcer and super fan, right? And so, like I say, he uses Inspire and the 8 other ability and just help swing the fight that way without actually having to, like, get in and mix it up. I think that would be a lot of fun. And then the followers, not the cohort, but the followers, should be a bunch of people who are, like, wrestling super fans and other wrestlers who have, like, shown up at El Grapadura's, wherever he lives, his hometown, to train under and with him. And like, there's this leftover idea from the second edition days where, you reach level 9 as a fighter and you get Stronghold, right? Well, El Grapadura should just have, like, a super sweet gym, right? And, like, that's where all of his followers get together and they all work out, and then he comes and he works out with them when he's in town. Like, that's how I would build that. I think El Grapadura could be a lot of fun, but he's not super duper powerful. So yeah, it is what it is. He's pretty tough. He rages, which is always fun, and he punches dudes in the face. Oh, and he jumps through walls or doors or windows or skylights. Stunning eruption through a skylight should totally be a thing. Just saying. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about him. I'm probably gonna do 1 or 2 more of these with other concept characters, stuff that I have kind of on the back burner. And as usual, if these are interesting or useful or fun or whatever, let me know. Your feedback will help me to provide better explanations for the madness that I do in the future. So yeah, I guess that's going to be it.